launch conductor in mission control, we pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1, fire. Missile away.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a long-awaited mission update. I mean, we haven't had a mission update since prior to our Enterprise and Tranquility launch. I miss you guys. I miss the interaction that we normally have here online, but I definitely miss all the new friends that we made here at the Cape, or not here at the Cape, I'm in Orlando, but at the Cape, during the Enterprise and the Tranquility flights. Just to remind folks, if there's any questions that you may have, you can go, if you're in our chat room right now, much like a response like this, you can go ahead and type your question, and our team is online as well. And if Charlie doesn't touch on anything, if I don't touch on anything, we do have our crew, our members here of our staff of Celestis who will answer any question that comes their way. One of the best things about our mission updates is listening and applauding the guy that knows every answers from here to there, up and down. He's very, very versed on all of the rockets and all of our payloads, and this is the person that you're here to see, definitely like me. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to our boss, our big top man, Mr. Charles Chafer himself. Charles, how you doing?
I'm very well. How are you, Mark?
You know, it's been over 4 months since our last launch, the Enterprise and Tranquility flights at the Cape. Can I get your overall thoughts of how that went? Since this literally is a review show as well as a mission update show. What did you think? How did things go for you?
Sure. I will note, as the founder of this company way back in the mid-1990s, for you to say, wow, it's been over 4 months since we had a mission update. Sometimes it was 7 years. Launches in the early days. So I smile because I think we've built a pretty amazing service here for people. And I just when I heard you say, wow, used to be only 4 months. Anyway, well, so briefly, I think we conducted 3 days of globally relevant, globally covered activities, launching on the very first ULA Vulcan rocket, statues of which you see behind me, from Cape Canaveral on January 6th. We had 2 missions on board. The first was Tranquility, which was our second lunar mission. And the second was Enterprise, which was our first ever, really think about it, after 30 years, nearly 30 years, our first ever Voyager deep space service. And long and short of it, the Voyager portion, the Enterprise flight with 5 of the original cast members of the original Star Trek series, 2 astronauts, and 300 folks from all over the world aboard it. Perfect launch, perfect orbital, heliocentric orbital trajectory burn, on its way now probably about 2 years out from achieving its final heliocentric orbit, which goes in and out, but it's at its most distant, it's beyond the orbit of Mars. Just a very cool mission, very successful, very proud that our team pulled it off. We didn't have quite as much fortune with Tranquility, as of course the launch was perfect. And in point of fact, we met our own definition of mission success and our customers' definition of mission success when we achieved the translunar orbit injection. But shortly thereafter, our host spacecraft, the Astrobotic Peregrine lander, lost ability to control portions of its flight. And so we were not able to land that mission on the lunar surface, but we're reflying everyone that was on board, and we're targeting our Destiny launch. Right now, I'm thinking it's early 2026 at this point. I think our website still is saying something like Q4 2025, but all missions move to the right until they fly. So and we'll update that site with that effect. Anyway, really amazing mission. No other we were the first company to place a commercial package on the moon with our very first mission in 1999, and we're the first commercial mission to head to deep space. So very proud of that. Very happy for all of the participants and their loved ones who were able to join us either online to see Rod Roddenberry and Eileen Collins and everybody speak about it, or there in Florida for both missions. I'm not sure we'll ever have quite such a groundbreaking mission before. Anyway, that long answer, short question.
Oh no, it was great, and I agree with you 100%. It was the 3-day event in itself was amazing. The family got to literally visit the launch pad and that beautiful rocket. In fact, I forgot during our pre-show here between you and I forgot to mention it. I didn't notice it, but I didn't say anything. I meant to ask you, that is in fact a ULA rocket behind you, right?
There's two of them. There's you'll see the one that's on a wood pedestal. That's a Falcon Heavy. And then the other two are Vulcan configurations. The big one was given to us by ULA, who I continue to rave about what great hosts they were for that very successful mission.
Yeah. So before we move on to our mission update, my own personal, I want to add a little bit more to this. The fact that I thought it was an incredible, I don't want to use the word event, but lack of a better word, I guess I have to. The camaraderie, people making new friends. I've become Facebook friends with a lot of folks that were there. The ceremony, everything was fantastic. Just utterly enjoyed it. It was a great night. And like I had mentioned in previous updates, my favorite are always the nighttime launches. It's just such a heavenly event to see like that, a grand way of fulfilling your loved ones' wishes, or even your wishes if you thought of this on your own. It was just fantastic. So thank you so much.
It was,
go ahead, Charles.
It was cool. I think, for the people that we serve, it's an even different kind of an experience as well, because it's Dad is on board that flight, and that connection at liftoff is, you can't duplicate it, particularly given that Dad loves space, or my sister was in the Air Force, or, the connection, the reason that people have for choosing our service and then further even attending the launch events are difficult to put into words if you haven't experienced it. Even then, it's difficult, but it's it's a connection. It's why I think people choose to honor their precious loved ones with the service that we provide. And it's just, that was our 22nd mission. They never cease to amaze me for that reason, for the connectivity that we bring to families. All the other stuff is cool. It's a great event, space launch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the connection, the fulfillment, which is what I think people are mostly about choosing us. That's the reason they're looking to complete something, to provide an honor that would be loved, or you were told I want, and being able to do that and be part of that is why we get up every morning, I guess I'd say.
The probably the most amazing thing for me is, well, first off, when we have the meet and greet, because it is a 3-day event, the last day is the launch, and we get to know people over at least the 2 days. The third day, when we're shuttling everyone out to the launch site, whatever, and then the launch actually occurs, the greatest thing, the most heart-tugging thing that could happen to me during this time is watching everyone else's faces, the tears, the hugs, hugging people they probably never met or they have met, they've known, whatever, everyone's head is straight up and they're just bawling. And it is something that is so fulfilling to know that these people have succeeded in their mission for what it was their family wanted of themselves. And that's just off the hook.
Yeah, that's well said. And, again, we can talk about it, or we invite people to experience it, because that's really the joy of being part of one of our missions.
Okay, we're going to move on to our next one. But if you want to literally see some video of our Enterprise and our Tranquility flights, go to our YouTube channel, Celestis Memorial Space Flights, and we do have a short version, and we do have an extended, probably the entire version online now, Charles?
Yeah, we have the one that we edited down into a 15 or 20-minute video about both missions. And that's the one I'd recommend. And I think you'll read the title of it, is Celestis Tranquility and Enterprise Memorial Space Flights. We also have the dinner event that we hosted. We have the memorial service. Those are multi-hour.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Videos, but and I think the video, the one we edited, we call it the family video. It's available for family members to download and share. Is one of the better. Yeah, well, it's because this was one of the more memorable missions we've ever done. It's appropriate that it's one of the more memorable memorial and videos that we do. But everyone has its own set of things that happen, people that share their lives with us. So each one is kind of I don't recommend you spend your days viewing all 20 of our memorial launches, but you could do worse if you were interested.
Yeah. Could be raining outside. You need something to do. So yeah.
You don't know. And again, you and I laugh, and we have a congenial relationship here on these webcasts. And sometimes I hear from people that say, "Oh, you're too happy. This is about a sad time." And I respect that. I really do. And I know that there's a scale of grief, stages of grief. And we definitely come in more toward the latter, when it's acceptance and celebration and memories and good feelings, than at the front end, where there's loss and all the things that everybody that's lost someone go through. So I just want people to know that our joviality reflects, we're two happy people, but also we really do understand all the stages that people go through. So we're smiling because we know the end will be wonderful for everybody. So I wanted to say that for people.
No, it's perfect, and you're absolutely right. It is our nature to make you happy, even though you're going through sorrow. But believe us, we will enter that level of sorrow when all of this has finally achieved orbit. And I'm seeing people who are laughing and crying, and I'm right along there with them. So we are not black-hearted souls here. We are just as cushy and mushy and smushy, just like all of you who are there to carry out your mission. All righty. So I'm going to pop off shortly, Charles, right now, so you can go ahead and do your thing. But you're basically going to fulfill everyone. Oh, by the way, we've got 1,000 hellos and chats. We are not ignoring you. We're getting down to business here, and we see you. And there have been some questions that we will get to as well. We're going to trottle up, stroll up, back up, and answer those questions. We do see you there. Our Celestis team is here as well. But we're here for 2 missions specifically for today. You can ask us questions on anything. We will answer it. Don't worry about not asking a question specifically directed towards today's mission. Ask us anything, and we'll definitely get an answer. Everyone's here ready for you, but Charles is now going to kick this off with our next 2 missions. Charles, all yours, boss.
Thank you. Well, again, welcome everyone. And I know some of you are here specifically because we invited you and let you know that we're going to be talking about 2 of our next missions tonight, the Harmony flight and the Perseverance flight. So let me start with Harmony, which will be our 24th mission. And it's an orbital mission, orbital service, currently scheduled for no earlier than July 1st. So that's kind of getting to be around the corner. From Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, and flying on a SpaceX Falcon 9 booster on one of the SpaceX transporter missions, which fly aggregated small satellites. Our actual host for Harmony is a company called SEOPS, SEOPS, and the host spacecraft for our Harmony capsules, slightly more than 100 Harmony capsules, is a SEOPS 6U CubeSat, which is a communication satellite that will be placed into a low Earth orbit for an approximately 6-year orbital life, at the end of which the SEOPS spacecraft will re-enter the atmosphere and disintegrate along with the 102 Celestis flight caps, as we say, blazing like a shooting star, harmlessly re-entering, not creating any space debris, and I guess that's what I wanted to say. That's the mission set. Some specifics to be aware of when I say the launch is no earlier than July 1st. We always host our families and their family friends at or near the launch site, and that's a typical 3-day celebration and memorialization, which I will describe in just a moment, the particulars of, so that if launch is on July 1, go backwards 2 days. I believe see, Sunday is the 30th. So the 29th will be the first day of our activities. So, but that's a planning date. I have to say that the SpaceX launch cadence of late has been absolutely overwhelmingly amazing. They've already done more than 50 missions this year. And therefore, when we used to talk about, long-term waits to fly with other providers and even the early years of SpaceX, there's a pretty good chance that we'll fly right around that time frame out of Vandenberg. So, of course, we always webcast. In this case, we webcast two of our events, the memorial service, and then the launch. Actually, the launch will be webcast by SpaceX, so you'll be able to participate in our memorial service online. For those of you who are interested in or plan to attend, what I can say is there's just about no part of the country, and I've been to a lot of the country, that can be more beautiful than the central coast of California, where we launch from. Vandenberg is about 45 miles north of Santa Barbara, right on the coast. At times you'll swear you're in the Mediterranean. For those of you who are movie or wine lovers, you'll remember the movie Sideways, starring Giamatti and Virginia Madsen and others, was made right where we're going. And you are smack dab in the middle of wine country. I think there's probably at least 30 vineyards within an hour of where we'll be, and probably 15 that are within 20 minutes of where we are. So wonderful part of the world to visit, to have a pretty amazing space memorial experience, and to enjoy the place that those events brought you to. If you're interested in attending, we will be posting a launch event website where you can get the information about coming to our events. Those events do come with, I think, pretty reasonable charge when you find out what we're doing. And I do want to say that public viewing of the launch is available. People park at the side of the road all up and down the coast and watch the launch, so that if you're, and we always have a few folks, I just want to see the launch, and I don't want to be part of the memorial service or be at the winery. I don't want to do those things. I just want to come to the launch. It is doable. And as we get closer, there are a couple of websites that will say, here's where to go watch the launch from. But we're very proud that every time we fly, we do what I think of as pretty amazing set of events that do several things. It brings together a lot of people in a shared environment. Now you can participate privately, or you can be, or you'll meet people there that are sharing the same journey that you are, that you'll want to get to know. But what our 3-day launch event typically is day one is arrive at the headquarters hotel, and I got ahead of myself. We're planning on putting the launch website up right after Memorial Day. And for those of you who are our primary contacts, who have loved ones on board, who have sent us something that said, keep me informed about this launch, when we post that website, you'll receive an email from us, and we'll have our social platforms also publishing that website. So that's the way that you register for your attendance at our 3-day event that includes the gatherings at the headquarters hotel, the memorial service. We're hosting a reception where some of the folks that are building the spacecraft are going to come and meet you. And we're hosting that out at Babcock Winery, which is just down the road from Lompoc, California. And then, of course, for launch viewing, we'll have a separate site dedicated. It will be heated, which if it's a night launch will be appreciated. Have chairs, have live coverage of the webcast, which you wouldn't get if you were just out sitting by the road. And transportation to and from that viewing site are also included. So you'll see all of that. All that you need to know will be there, and all of the policies associated with the service that we provide out there. I'm looking forward to it. It's I love coming out to that part of the world. I love meeting our families, and I love the service that we provide, and I love seeing rockets take off. So what's not to like? So that's Harmony. No earlier than July 1st. Launch and memorial service will be webcast. Events including viewing the launch, celebrating your loved one at a memorial service, and meeting some of the spacecraft engineers at a reception. All of that will be available, and we'll have that website up shortly after Memorial Day, in time for you to make your plans. It goes without saying, although I will say it, that don't make non-changeable or non-refundable reservations. I know they're cheap, but sometimes, particularly in launches, you'll have a change. And so you want the flexibility to travel when it's appropriate, not when your ticket says you have to travel. The other thing is again, knock on wood, SpaceX is really showing huge reliability these days, but they don't control the fog bank on the California coast. There are other things. They don't control a number of things. And so launches can slip. So if you're coming, be aware of that fact and give yourself some back-end protection. 3-4 days, unless it's a giant technical flaw, they'll get it turned around on the range and reflown within that period of time. We'll let you know when we've purchased our tickets. So that means we have a high confidence in the launch date. And we look forward. We'll have a good, our team out there is the best in the business at hosting launch events and hosting our families. And I think you'll find it I know you'll find it a meaningful experience. So many of our clients have actually never even been to a rocket launch. And that in and of itself is a pretty amazing event to see. But when it's your loved one on board, it's amazing. So I haven't watched through here. Let me just see if I have any Harmony specific questions.
I actually don't know if we do or not, but I'll scroll up as well.
I saw one about I need the correct launch date. Can't do that. I can give you only no earlier than. That's the way launches get scheduled. We're still far enough out to where that if you're no, lost my
almost there.
yeah, almost there. Well, getting old, things go away. I did see someone ask if it's too late to get on the Harmony flight. It's a good question. Yes, it is. We integrate, we send our flight capsules to our provider, in this case, the COP satellite guys. Actually, this one went in let me just say, I think it was as much as 8 months ago. Normally, we have a little bit closer time frame, but spaceflight is complicated. However, I can say that the next Earth orbital flight, the Serenity launch, I'm not talking about tonight, but I'm here to tell you it's going to go early next year, first quarter of next year. So if you want, and the sales for that mission will close, I believe it's in July. In this instance, the integration process, which is us getting the individual flight capsules assembled, which we have to do with a funeral service provider, and then delivered to the launch services provider, and for them then to include our payload on their flight is a multi-month process. So Serenity, the details will be forthcoming, and that would be the next available orbital flight, and that will probably, as I said, I think it'll close in July sometime. Got a question. Did you miss the launch? You did not miss Harmony or Perseverance, either of the missions that I'm focusing on today. Let's see if they're okay. Let's move on to Perseverance, which embodies its name. Perseverance began life as the Aurora flight. What am I looking at here? No, I don't think that's not the Perseverance patch. Anyway, and we had a flight attempt last year out of Spaceport America in near Las Cruces, New Mexico. Aurora, and we had done 9 prior successful missions with the Earthrise service and our provider, Up Aerospace. But in this instance, the mission did fail. Fortunately, we did a 100% recovery of the payload and announced that we would refly those capsules on our next Earthrise service, which we were and are calling Perseverance. Perseverance was originally scheduled for right about now. And the plan was again to fly out of Spaceport America and with Up Aerospace. We were informed 4 or 5 months ago that Up Aerospace would not be able to accommodate us on a mission for a couple years. And we then needed to find another way to perform our Earthrise service. And we looked, and what distinguishes Earthrise? Not so much that it's suborbital, up and down, but that it flew capsules into space and returned them, creating a flown keepsake, which a lot of people really like, having the capsule that their daughter went to space in. And I can understand that. So only about, I guess, very quickly, let me just say, earlier this year, we were approached by a European firm called the Exploration Company. And they're developing a module that will visit the space station uncrewed, is the correct way to say that. No people on board. Robotic intercept of the space station to deliver supplies, return cargo, and also for purposes of orbiting the Earth for periods of time to support microgravity research into things like pharmaceuticals, metal mixture, performance of various materials in zero-G. And as it turns out, the plan is to deorbit that capsule, either from a space station visit or from an on-orbit experience, and bring the cargo back to the client. So it's not a lot different service than is the governments, U.S., Russia, China, have been doing. But it's one of the very early commercial offerings of that service. Now, if you're as old as I am and you go as far back in the commercial space age as I do, you'll know that there have been proposals to do this. There have even been a couple of flights to do this service. But now there's a commercial capability from a impressive company that has 6, 7, 8, 9-figure contracts, and we're going to fly with them. So I'm going to take a stop here and answer a couple of questions, and then Mark, what I want to do is introduce a short video from the Exploration Company that sells the capabilities of the Nix capsule. But let me answer yes, there is a form Jennifer, yes. Contact cs1@celestis.com and ask for the information about how to fill out the stuff, the information for your loved one. There will be a block of hotels available for Harmony Mission, and that will be released when we release the site shortly after Memorial Day. Thank you, Marjorie, for your questions. So, Mark, let's show this Exploration Company video about the capability that we're going to fly Perseverance on.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Okay, so that's an image of it. Two caveats. This mission is not going to the moon, although we hope to use them later for one of our lunar missions. And there are no humans on board this one. It's a toe in the water kind of capability. We're thankful to have it. So the mission profile for Perseverance, thank you, Paula. We think it's cool too, is a launch to orbit on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, again, as part of a secondary payload that they will be, but they'll be deployed into orbit, where for Perseverance, that craft that you saw with our 170 plus capsules on it will orbit the Earth for, I believe it's 2 to 3 times. Not a lot of orbital time, but enough to demonstrate the capability for orbital operations. After which time it will be parachuted back for an ocean recovery by the exploration company, very much like SpaceX goes out and catches their Dragon capsules when they land in the ocean. The model's basically the same. And the capsules will be recovered as part of that operation and returned to us. And we will then return the flown keepsakes to the 170 plus families that have loved ones on board. We'll be doing the same launch event thing. We're not yet certain. We will be next week. Whether that launch will fly from Vandenberg or from Cape Canaveral. I know a lot of you want to know that, and we do too. As soon as we know that, we'll, of course, post it on our website and send emails and communications to family members. Currently scheduled for no earlier than February 1st, 2025, which I think we sent out to all the Perseverance families last week, just as soon as we knew we just signed our contract for this service a couple of weeks ago. So everything is, and regardless of where you're coming, you'll have an amazing experience, one that we will help you by being there and supporting those 3 days of operations. So again, I think we're in the renaissance of commercial space, and we're seeing all kinds of new capabilities that create opportunities for us to find missions that we think would be meaningful to you. And in this instance, we're talking about 2 missions, one that will occur no earlier than July 1, one that will occur no earlier than February 1st. When next we gather, I will have information on at least 2 other missions that are going to go in that same time frame that we're working on. So it's a busy time for us, and we are expanding as required, but we're keeping our core group, our core team that really knows what's going on in place. And it's an exciting time, but really, that's just how's this affecting us. The real question is our ability to provide more frequent launches helps the people that use our service. It gives them more choices and more frequent opportunities to reach the fulfillment that we're looking for. So again, another really cool, it's evolved the mission. And that's a perfect example of how the service, which really focuses on bringing a capsule back that has flown to space, has evolved, and how that's changed providers, launch locations. And that's how you have to do it in these really amazing times. But again, I think whenever we conduct a mission, we will be there and make it a great experience for the people that visit, and we will put it on the website and create videos in advance. Let's see. I see a question. All events before the launch? Yes. After launch, come home, depending upon whether it flew at 3 a.m. or 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. Grab a nap, and then you're free to head back to where you came from. So the events will be at T-2, T-1, and T0. Question about what does no earlier than February 1st mean? Somebody once asked me what the Library of Congress was, and I answered, it's the Library of Congress. So yes, it means no earlier than. But your question is well taken, well understood. As I was trying to say, I've been super impressed with SpaceX hitting its cadence for a long time now. And I believe I said that I think it's likely to go in a 3 or 4 day window. Again, assuming they don't break something, that there's not an El Nino that blows away launch time. You have to stay flexible, but things that are controllable lead me to believe that it will be very near, if not February 1st. But it could slip. And all we can say is we monitor that very, very carefully. And we let everybody know just as soon as we know any changes in launch dates. If you don't want to fly into Santa Barbara, you can brave LAX, which is why we say we recommend Santa. It's a much more friendly size airport, but I know a lot of people, we have people that come from all over the world, and you can't get to Santa Barbara on 1 or 2 flights from all over the world. So if you are traveling from afar, LAX on a good day and the 405 and then up the coast, could be a 2-hour drive. On a bad day, it could be a 8-hour drive. Not quite. I've never had it be an 8-hour drive, but it's LAX and Los Angeles, which is why we recommend Santa Barbara. Where is February 1st? That's the Harmony launch out of Vandenberg Space Force Base, which is located about 45 miles north of Santa Barbara. Our hotel will be located in Lompoc, Lompoc, California, and we'll provide additional information when we set the. Yes, Serenity did change launch locations, John, and I think we set out. We sent some. Bottom line is yes, it will be a. Right now, it looks like a California launch. I'm waffling because I'm right in the middle of those negotiations. It could go back to California or to LA, but we don't know for sure. But just stay tuned. Next month, I'll be talking about Serenity. No, you don't have to stay at the hotel. But I will say the transportation to and from the launch viewing location is at the hotel, and the memorial service will be at the hotel. So you'll get plenty of opportunity to to see the hotel, but you do not have to stay there. Okay. I don't see any more questions. Summary, Harmony on track for July 1. We know nothing different. Our payload was integrated long ago to the COPS 6U CubeSat satellite that we're flying to Earth orbit on out of Vandenberg. Stay tuned as we get closer. Launches will tend to firm up, things like what time is it, those kinds of things, and we'll be keeping everybody up to date. Mary Catherine, I can't answer you. And let me explain. I know I'm entertaining myself, and maybe you don't understand why. As I've said a few times on these events, we operate in a world of non-disclosure agreements. And until something is signed, reviewed, approved by the PR firms, we're not allowed to announce anything. So I have nothing to announce about Florida in 2024. There's a chance that there will be something, but I don't know that. So I'm just being as transparent as possible. February 2025 viewing, again, you'll see that when we post the event site shortly after Memorial Day. I'm not trying to be coy. Literally, we're negotiating with 2 different locations, and we'll finalize one of them this week. Wherever it is, it will have coffee and tea and chairs and a tent, and you'll be able to watch the webcast beforehand, regardless of where we place it. Hi, Rhonda, there is no limit on people. There is a time frame by which you have to register and purchase the tickets, but no, there's no limit. Okay. Getting any more questions? Well, folks, as I started out with a smile about, well, it's been over 4 months since we did a mission update.
I'm sorry.
I loved it. I took that as a statement with great pride that what we're able to offer. So we'll see you monthly from here on until Harmony, if because I know there will be additional questions, as there are still. Hi, June, Mars in the future. Yeah, someday. I mean, go there.
June is ready.
Yeah, well, and
he's ready.
Humans will. It's just like the moon. You know, humans will live and work on the moon, and they'll die on the moon, and we'll be burying or dispersing or doing things on those various. We're going to take our rituals and our memorials with us wherever we go, in my opinion.
Yeah, June, just slow it down a bit, June. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sure we want you to have plenty of time. Okay.
We probably will be one of the early commercial packages. I don't know about Mars because if they find life on Mars, we're going to be our payloads are inert and they don't cause any damage, but we're going to be circumspect. We might go to Phobos or Deimos first. And June, we love you too. Thank you.
She wants to get on the waiting list already, you know.
Yeah, well, at various points in time, I thought about introducing a Mars product, but I have no idea on how to price it. So
well, let's get them to start paying on it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly. Well, great interaction out there in radio land, internet land.
Yeah. That's I like Radio Land anyway.
Yeah, we love all of you guys. We're happy that we're really, we're doing a bunch of missions soon, and that's exciting to all of us, and as I know it is to you. So thank you all for logging on today and chatting with us and letting us know what your questions are. As I said, we'll start doing this monthly up until we fly Harmony. So I guess with that, Mark, I'm going to turn it back over to you and say thanks, folks. Great to talk to everybody.
All right. Thanks, boss. Charles Chafer there. And as mentioned here from our Celestis staff, you can watch these videos at any time. You just go to our page. And if there's anything you missed or anyone that couldn't be here to watch all of the information, don't let them get all frantic. We have this, like Charles said, every month up until flight time, until even before then, even between then, you can still access information by contacting us personally at Celestis, or just rewatching any one of the many videos concerning your particular flight that you'll see in the future. So please contact. Oh, sorry, I just got distracted by Keith.
Keith is an old friend, and we'll look forward to interacting.
Great. Okay. All right. So this is our regularly now Celestis Mission Update briefing. You have questions. If you still have questions, you don't have to run them through us here during the webcast. You can go ahead and contact us personally via email or telephone, or even on our Facebook page, messenger us there. Charles, I'm a little disappointed with you, by the way.
Yeah, I routinely disappoint you, Mark.
Well, no, you don't. But let me tell you something. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my own personal announcement here. For 54 years, I wore glasses.
Ah, you did?
I flew to Guadalajara, Mexico, and I had my cataracts done. I have new baby lenses in my eyes. I no longer need glasses.
Yeah.
Except for readers.
Yeah. Well, I had LASIK. I still haven't gotten any cataracts, knock on whatever, but
yeah.
These are
just in case
readers as well.
Yeah, I need readers too, but just in case nobody recognized me on air, Colby, our president for Celestis, didn't even mention. Oh, he's mentioning it now. All right, you're kind of late, bud. Hey, folks. So
we got one more, which is another question about when there'll be another live update. As I mentioned, typically we do it on the third Monday of each month. So, and it will be posted on our socials, and we'll put out an email blast. But kind of look at it for the third Monday in June. Yes.
It's very valuable information. And the way we know that is when people actually show up for our launches. They thank us for the information. They wouldn't have done something. They would have bought non-refundable tickets and so on and so on and so on. That's why it's very important that even if you don't watch us live, that you pick up the next mission briefing, including this one, when you can. There may be some information changes on flight time, so don't miss it, especially if you have family members on board. You don't have to be here live. We would love for you to be here live so we can read your comments, but make sure you visit our YouTube channel page, our Facebook channel page, and rewatch. Okay. So I guess that's it for me, Charles. Anything else, boss?
No, we'll see everybody in June. But have a great month.
See you in June.
We'll see you then. Yep. Thank you.
That'd be great. Bye, guys.
Launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1. fire.